Hello everybody and welcome back to Star Wars Edge of the Empire Afterlight Skies. I'm John, I'm the executive producer here at Final Show Films, and I now turn it over to our game master for the evening, Aaron.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Afterlight Skies, and back to John for character introduction.
I'm playing Senstaku, an Ichani Seeker.
Okay, roll your destiny.
Yeah, let me pull up my character sheet. Roll destiny. I rolled a dark side point again. I have rolled nothing but dark side points for like the past 4 episodes.
Hey,
Okay.
you know.
The Force seeks balance, except for when you determine that that's going to be how you figure out which side of the Force you're on for the day.
Yep.
And Cody?
Hi, I'm Cody. I'm playing Praz, the Zabrak Commando, and I will roll Destiny. 2 light side.
Nice.
Alright. Jeremy?
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Lux, the Zoltron former intelligence agent who is going through a bit of an identity crisis at the moment, along with many other crises. And I got us another dark side point. This is going to be a great session, guys.
And Kat?
I am Kat, and I am playing Powder, the surgical droid with, memory stuff. Yeah. And rolling destiny, I also got a dark side.
Right. With 2 light side points and 3 dark side points in our pool, which again is a transitive pool that I can use to hurt players. The players can use to fight back. Let's roll obligation. With the 68, you just barely escape it today.
Huzzah.
Hooray!
Damn it, rerun!
Huzzah.
Not being here makes this a lower pool.
It's true.
It is true.
Hey, I tried my best. I rolled 2 light side.
Right. So, last time on Afterlight Skies, our group had a quandary. Many places they could go. Possibilities were floated from Powder's memory, and various unfinished threads and obligations the group could address. They chose to pursue a name that had been floated through Praz's family contacts, and determined that an individual by the name of Doreen Ross, an individual by the name of Dorian Ross was someone to look for, and pursued him. After some less than savory encounters where their ship was apparently boarded and ransacked in a very pointed and specific manner, they set off, finding themselves on a weirdly not guarded secret space thing that seemed to be developing experimental technology of a variety particularly both illegal and dangerous to the balance of power as it currently exists in the galaxy. And we will pick back up with the interrogation of a intern, Darius. Can't speak today, I'm really sorry.
Darius.
Darius.
Yes.
Like we had just come to the conclusion that Dorian Ross, who was working on miniaturized cloaking technology, just disappeared.
Yes.
Yeah.
At which point we all sort of went
facepalmed at the same time. Yeah.
Even the robot. Yep.
And the intern's talking conspiracy.
So, is there any way we could go take a look at the lab in which Dorian last was seen?
I would love to be able to see it.
Yeah, I'm supposed to show you around anything you want to. Obviously you have all the clearance that you could.
Perfect. Let's go.
Okay. Is there something specific or just in general? What were you?
The lab that Dorian was working in.
Right. Yeah, this way. And he'll get up from his desk and head down several different hallways that lead in and out, various angles and corridors. You get the sense that this base stretches quite a ways, and these covered small hallways allow passage between the different portions of the base more than they are directly connected space. It's a spread out sort of sprawling network of small pods.
Right.
Eventually he leads you to a office door, plugs in a code on a small keypad, which then the door opens. Obviously the equipment has been wiped since then because they do that every few days, but this is where
I don't suppose I could have caught the number that he was punching into the keypad, could I?
you can make me a vigilance check.
Vigilance, not perception.
I will
Okay.
also make a vigilance check.
Or
We'll make a vigilance.
yeah, vigilance is probably going to be it in this case.
What difficulty?
Difficulty of 3. This is a small keypad, and well, he's not necessarily hiding it from you. It's
This
not.
will be hilarious.
Let me see if I can do it too. Why not?
Nope.
I'm
Failure 3.
difficulty 3.
Nope.
Vigilance.
Difficulty 3.
Nope.
Oops. I accidentally rolled it twice.
With none of you. Oh,
None of us.
I got a success.
I mean,
right. Those of you who didn't roll any successes, you don't manage to catch
yeah.
anything. Prize, you managed to catch the last.
Oh wait, hold on. I
in
realized.
the probably 5-digit combination.
Hold on. I only did a difficulty 2.
Okay.
Still failed.
However, you didn't get any successes, so sorry about that. I didn't.
That's right. I forgot to click out of the dice thing and actually make it work.
It happens.
All right.
Okay. So inside you find equipment roughly similar to perhaps larger versions of the same equipment you saw back in the office building.
Mhm.
Again, it's these large tubes, abstract, high-level things. A few more data readouts and actually a few additional workbenches, but the equipment itself is not immediately identifiable for any of you, other than as something you've seen previously.
You want to see if you can glean anything from the machines, Lux?
absolutely. Darius, talk to my friends here for a minute. I will be right back.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to go over and start.
And Darius does turn his attention to the three of you, though you notice that it seems like he really wants to turn his attention back to Lux. Continuously glances over there.
I am going to ask him for a thorough and, without leaving out any details, explanation of what happened the evening that Dorian disappeared.
That's gonna require you to make a check. Make me. you trying to do coercion or just...
Well, I'm trying to... Lux told him to talk to us, and so I'm giving him a thing to talk about, so...
Okay, then make me a negotiation check difficulty of 2.
Okay. I will spend it.
Just to
I'm going to
see.
spend a light side point. Because I don't do that as often as I should. Upgrade. Negotiation. 1 success
Negotiation.
with 1 threat.
Alright. So wait. I'm only obviously able to give you my perspective, but what happened was on the we have a curfew here, obviously, as they probably told you that. So we so after everyone had left the offices for the night, I guess Dorian, Mr. Ross stayed behind to probably experiments or something to continue his research, presumably, or at least that's what the security techs were saying. But then he wasn't there, so it's not necessarily unusual for the top guys to stay late, but we're not allowed to be there. We didn't hear anything. There wasn't any alarms that went off. But I wasn't in charge of this one, but I was in charge of checking some of the atmospheric stuff the next day, and there were some changes in our measured quantities, but not significant enough that we'd account it as perhaps a successful activation of the technology. So I think that the way they're calculating the levels is wrong, and an activation of the technology could be. And then he goes back into this person who clearly knows what they're talking about, but doesn't know how to communicate it to someone who isn't invested in that niche.
And I just let him talk.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I can roll to see if I actually understand what he's saying?
You guys can roll education difficulty 4 as he goes on about molecular substructures and half-lives of component materials.
1 success.
I got 1 success and all the threats.
Under knowledge.
5 threats.
I know nothing.
Powder,
I got a failure and 2 threats.
This is a little bit strange. It's not medical information. It's not something you'd have any specific grounding in.
Yeah.
It's definitely sciencey. For Sen and Prez, you're both a little more used to being talked, not necessarily down to, but talked at when it comes to academic stuff. So you were able to parse that basically...
You're very welcome.
He thinks that despite the readings being something that would, from the facility's perspective, discount the experiment having been successful, science means that they're measuring it wrong. So the experiment could have been successful and the readings have been negative still.
Like he's basically saying that like the style of measuring that they're using is a style of measurement you use for detecting cloaked ships, not this whatever active camouflage that they've been making.
No,
like that.
He's saying that things degrade much faster than they were anticipating, and that they haven't readjusted. They're just using outdated estimates for some of that stuff.
Okay.
So
bad scientists if they don't update.
You also get the sense that he is the intern saying this, and people who above him in the chain of command don't believe him. So how accurate his information is with 1 success, you'd know, is probably dubious.
Yeah.
But he does seem to have this theory. And obviously that's all my own speculation, and I was going on again. Looks over the Lux. Sorry. There wasn't any sounds. We have cameras and motion detectors that if they pick anything up that's unusual are programmed to keep it, and none of them got anything. So no explosion, no person
So you
was
have-
out of existence. So they.
You have vid of the laboratory and the outside of it.
Not anymore. This was a while back. Things scrub off pretty quickly.
In the meantime, what has Lux found?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hack,
That's
hack,
what
hack, hack,
trying
hack,
to
hack, hack, hack,
move
hack,
over
hack.
to. Computers check difficulty of 3. What are you looking
Okay.
for?
I'm looking for so we are going off the working theory right now that Dorian did not vanish in a random freak accident and planned this for some reason or another. Right?
Hmm?
I mean, that's the gist. Okay. So that's the sort of thing you're going to find. You would generally find signs for. I'm not going to be super in the know on the technology itself and the science behind it, but at least being familiar with how to stage secret escapes or plans or things like that, I'm going to know what to look for in terms of like perhaps changes that were made to subtle things
that he might
like
have
that.
done to cover an escape.
Yes,
or
exactly.
hide details. Yeah. I'll give you a boost die on that because you're
Okay.
right. That's something you are familiar with pretty
And
specifically.
diff 3, you said?
Difficulty of 3, yes.
All right. I will flip a point. Only other point.
We're down to 5 dark side.
Up to 5 dark side.
Up to, yes.
Yeah, sure, that works too.
So that was 4 successes, a threat, and a triumph.
Okay. Yeah. You're expecting to find more like he set up this machine to cloak him in a freak accident that he staged. That doesn't seem to necessarily be the case. However, it does seem like this. 3 things you determine. 1, it seems like on the night that he disappeared, this machine was set up to run remotely. Sorry, that was entirely my fault. To run itself, to activate and go through a protocol without a person here. And that was disguised. It seems like that seems to have been something done by Dorian. It also seems like whatever experiments they were doing were getting more successful.
Right. Okay.
And you are able to confirm that this is Dorian's lab.
Right. I mean, that's pretty well confirmation for me. It's just a matter of I'm gonna try to. I don't know if it's possible if this is pertains network to personal logs or if he kept any sort of logs about his about the project itself. I'm gonna try to cross reference with other locations he might be connected with.
Sure. With
If
the
he's
triumph,
escaped, yeah.
I'll allow you to make that check. It's still going to be a difficulty of 2, and you won't get your boost die on this one.
It's fine.
Just because there aren't a ton of personal logs in this data, but there might be some throwaway stuff you can find.
Cool.
Well, I don't suppose you could track down the remote access point.
So that's a success and 2 advantages.
With a success and 2 advantages, the only things you find, and you do sort of have to get out of this particular machine systems and
Right.
around what it's connected to. This planet is pretty locked down. They're
Okay.
very careful about who enters and leaves, which makes it even a little more strange that you were just let on with the intern.
Yeah.
You, but
I'm a little bit wary about that. In fact, is this networked enough that I could conceivably get into the security communications?
this machine itself is not. The workstations probably are.
Okay.
Looking at there's again with a triumph and 4 successes on your first roll.
Mm-hmm.
The workstations likely are with your check, but you were checking like this is a machine that's designed to do a function. It has some access that lets it report data that you can back through, but
Right. Okay.
if you wanted security, you'd probably have to go to a workstation.
All right.
I mean, there
So
are workstations in this
without
room, aren't there?
yeah,
There are a few, yes.
without even like acting like it's perfectly natural and there's no reason why I wouldn't be able to do it, I walk right over to a workstation.
Okay.
Sit down and I want to see what if anything has been said over security comms, messages and the like about our arrival, because this is way too easy.
All right, that check is going to be a difficulty of 3 with setback die that is removed by your ability.
Okay.
Because
So that is a success and advantage. I'm almost considering whether I should re-roll it.
Do you have to take the second one if you reroll, or do you get to pick?
I'm pretty sure I have to take the second one. Let me look here.
Why would you re-roll it?
Or
Because
potentially
that's
more
success,
successes?
but it's not a
I
lot of
also
success.
want to remind you that you may want to do additional checks past this, depending on what you run.
Yes.
Though it is your choice whether or not you'd like to re-roll this.
I would not waste it on a successful roll.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will just keep at it.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like you guys aren't going to be able to keep this poor sad bastard talking.
Yeah. He's still in the middle of this probably several minute spiel about the way different molecules degrade and new research on
I pause
and
for a
this
moment.
paper.
I look over my shoulder where he's talking.
You just see me standing there, arms crossed, looking at you, like, while he's talking to me.
I'm like,
He
I
also
just
seems
this
to look over to you occasionally, but mostly in that sort of dumbstruck, like, I'd prefer to be talking to you kind of way that you're familiar with.
says
And-
behind his back. I do this in the keep him talking sort of,
Oh.
and go back.
Look back.
And you see Powder just kind of like randomly just tilting the head.
Awesome.
Like looks like they're trying to listen and very intently.
Right, yeah.
All right. So rolling again.
Were you rolling again that same check, or?
Yes.
Oh,
Now that I will re-roll because that was a failure and a threat.
Reroll.
Come on, damn it, stupid button click.
Oh,
so
That was a failure and 2 advantages.
sorry for this is entirely my confusion. What was the second roll for?
Extending the check, essentially.
Oh, I said after you got the information, you might want to make additional checks.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. That's what I was doing.
Right. Yeah.
Digging
So,
deeper, basically.
in terms of what you can glean from the security network, there's some basic stuff, like you do see your ship's arrival. Your ship's arrival is flagged. It's one of the only arrival you see in the time frame you're looking at, which is basically the time frame since this guy disappeared. But a lot of the security stuff happens through channels that you're not quite having access to.
Right.
It does seem like a general notice of cooperation was sent out to the more open parts of the system. Like security was like, just cooperate with these people. Once again, that's a little strange.
All right.
Actually, Lux, because you're currently within the computer systems, there is a check I want you to make.
Okay.
Like you to make... I really wish every system just had a remember things check.
General intellect roll.
Make me an underworld check. Difficulty...
Oh, that's not ominous.
3.
Difficulty 3, okay. Okay, still have it at 3. So. No successes and 3 threats. Because dice.
With no successes but no failures, something about the letterhead of these notices that just the general company letterhead is vaguely familiar to you, but it doesn't ping any like big crime organizations you're aware of or anything.
Does it ping any governmental organizations I might be aware of?
You can make me a separate knowledge Core
typography.
Core world, okay. Same diff?
Either warfare or core worlds, same difficulty.
I will roll warfare because I have better...
I would like you to make a typography roll.
It's less typography and more like the logos and the letterheads are just like...
There we go.
I've really seen that.
One success.
With one success, no, this does not correspond to any government, current, past, subsidiary of a government that you're familiar.
This is not an imperially run facility as far as you're aware currently.
Because I was about to stun...
And you're familiar with some of the more common logos for the Rebellion, most of the common logos for the Empire, and more subtle Republic stuff. Also, like, they don't usually stamp their stuff with their own logo.
This is true. But they do use... They might use common subsidiaries. I was more thinking that. So she gets a frustrated look on her face over at the workstation.
Does her skin change color?
It gets a little bit darker red. Not like angry, like more of an annoyance shade. You know her well enough to identify.
Zeltron wear their emotions on their sleeve, literally.
Literally. So she gets up, walks over. Shit.
Dun. Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so those of you who are talking to... Sorry, giving...
It's okay.
Those of you who are talking to the intern, Powder, Prez, are you doing anything? Just listening in?
Yeah, I'll let him
Just
keep talking.
listening. Yeah.
He'll ramble and ramble, and you do notice he pretty regularly looks back to Lux. He clearly has a preference in who he wants to be talking to here. Doing as he's told. But
Where's Doreen's quarters? Not his not his lab, his
oh
living
yeah,
quarters.
his. I can show you that. Are you done here?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, we're good.
I guess yeah, we are.
Right. Cool. I just don't want you guys to get locked somewhere or something. Let me. He sort of guides you back out, assuming you all follow.
Yeah.
Down several hallways, again weaving back and forth, maybe in a different direction than his quarters were. And then sort of pings a code on another door in this long hallway of doors.
Can I see if I can catch that code?
Yeah, sure. Vigilance checks from anyone who's trying to catch the code.
Sure.
Difficulty.
Sorry, I'm feeling a little out of it right now. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty of 3. And, I have a lot of dark side points. How many people are going to be making that check?
Probably all of us.
Okay. All right.
I will not be.
I was gonna say,
What check?
I already made it.
Vigilance to, vigilance
Okay,
to
well,
catch the
that's
door.
what I was trying to ask before you guys made the
Sorry.
check.
'Cause,
Okay,
yeah, that has
so
to be.
are 3 of you making it, Raz?
Yeah, I'll make it.
Okay,
What's the
so
difference?
Lux is not making the check.
No, she's more trying to.
So 3 dark side points, everyone's getting an upgrade.
Right.
Have your dark side points back.
Okay, so
Upgrade, and then
I forget, how do I do that? Upgrade on the.
right hand side.
Upgrade
Right-hand
on the side
side?
with all the evil dice.
Okay.
A wash.
4 successes and 2 threats.
I don't even know what my dice mean. Most of them are blank.
It's a wash.
If there are no results, it's a wash. It does the calculation for you.
That's so weird. Okay. But Praz has a
Keep
clue.
in mind, many of these dice do have a blank side that can come up. Because
All of them do.
while you might be good at something, that doesn't always help. While something might be in your way, that doesn't always impede you. So those of you with no successes, no failures, no successes, don't catch the code at all. Praz, you catch the entire code. You also all catch that after he plugs in the code, the panel turns red for a moment, and then he sort of a little light pops up above it. He's like, I'm showing the guys around. You guys asked me to. And then the light disappears, the panel blinks to green, and the door opens.
I sort of lean back towards Lux and mutter, "We need to go visit the security office after this."
We need to be very careful with the security around here.
Exactly.
Something's not right.
Yep.
You could say I have a bad feeling about this. I'm sorry.
That's my line.
I'm so sorry. I'm not really sorry.
It's
Sorry.
not just your line anymore.
Multiple people
yeah.
have multiple bad feelings about multiple things.
Anytime you say multiple people, I take that to mean something other than what it means in this context. All right, moving on. So this room is, again, decorated almost the same as the other guy's room was, though it's slightly bigger. It has a small set of office chairs, a sort of office plant flower, presumably a back sleeping quarters space. That, yeah. So, I guess this is his. I've never actually been in his room before, so.
Understandable.
I would.
And now it's my turn to keep
Yeah.
Darius distracted while you guys do a deep dive of this fucking room.
Yep.
Hey,
I would.
what are you doing to distract him?
Standing there.
Yep.
Oh my shirt has come unbuttoned. How did that happen?
What's this? A pencil? An ancient archaic thing used to write with?
Let me bend down and pick it up. Yes.
No,
What? How are you
not
doing
anything like that. Not that. I want to say not that over the top, but also not that subtle. Like, no, it's going to be just tell me a little bit more about you and just shamelessly flirty.
Okay, make me a charm roll.
I
I'll give you an
will.
additional boost die for already having this guy pretty well charmed.
Yay, charm.
Doobly.
You also should be able to see an image that looks somewhat like the internals of the facility now.
Nice.
Roll 20.
And what's
Yep.
the difficulty?
Difficulty of 2.
Okay. And I will flip a point because I like making John do work.
It's okay. I'll make you do work later.
So that is a success and 4 advantages.
That's. You only needed 1 success to maintain the effect. Are you spending your advantages on specific things?
Basically make it make is complete unawareness, hopefully, of what's going on around him
Right.
last exactly as long as it needs to. If they need to go 45 minutes searching this room.
Okay, with 4 successes, you can basically do that.
Okay, you guys have
Unless
carte
they
blanche,
specifically interrupt it.
right?
Nope.
This guy is so happy to be talking to you now, and so you're pretty and a girl, and you were vaguely interested in what he has to say, maybe?
Oh yes, absolutely, 100%.
Is there any like computer anything in here? In this room?
Doesn't seem to be. No.
So I'm looking for any
Okay.
sort of a data pad, communication device, whatever the equivalent of a laptop would be, and any sort of anything that might be stowed away in a dresser drawer, under a pillow, under a bed, in a secret closet. Just sort of doing a quick toss over of the room without actually disturbing
Yeah.
any of the furniture.
Is there like a
I
bathroom
would
or
like
anything?
to search the room without moving anything. Okay.
Oh, no, not moving anything, not flipping his bed over and things
Right.
like that.
Moving things, but then putting them back.
Yeah,
And etc.
not
Yep.
tossing the room without actually tossing the room.
We're clean as we go.
Is there like a bathroom or anything?
There is a bathroom, yes.
All right, I'm gonna go into the bathroom and
Okay.
like look through like cabinets and see if there's like any medical supplies or anything like that. Just because.
So starting with powder, there are some very basic medical supplies. It seems like he has a supply of generic painkillers, toothpaste, stuff like that.
I will take the painkillers and
Okay.
put them in my stomach. my little my little stomach.
Clarify that.
That means
for
something
me.
very different for a droid than it does for a person.
So powder the door is closed, so none of you can see this, but powder just takes the little grabby arm, drops those off the shelf, opens up, puts them in, closes it back up.
stealing.
Doesn't
from
seem
the
like he has
person
anything
trying to-
specific or strong in here.
I mean, either he's escaped, one way or another, he's not using them, and probably won't be.
Currently, no. So what do Praz and I need to roll?
There's first aid supplies, nothing that mechanically is of any use to you, but like band-aids, things that a person with a not particularly dangerous job might keep on hand. For Sen, you were doing a search of the room.
As was
Going
I.
to say that is a perception check, difficulty of 2.
Difficulty 2, perception.
And I'm going to flip the dark side point because using the dark side helps you guys.
Upgraded by the dark side.
Or it helps me.
I got a failure.
An advantage and a despair.
I mean, forgot 2 people who were rolling, so let me just make sure that seems accurate. So, Praz with the failure, you're looking around, you're trying not to disturb anything too much, but you're not finding his secret diary. You're not, I mean, he's just room. It's a corporate room. There isn't much in the way of personal effects here.
Yeah.
Sen, you're halfway through when you're like, I'm pretty sure there's something inside the mattress. But other than that...
Yeah, I'm pretty certain there's something inside the mattress. However, I'm not tearing apart the mattress to find it.
Yeah, that seems like it would be a bad idea, but that's the only thing you can seem to find.
Can I, like, reach out and, like pat down the mattress and see if I can, like, discern any factoid, like if it's a landmine or something?
You were doing to determine this. You
Okay.
were sort of patting it down, seeing if, like, maybe he shoved something under the covers or the blankets. Just, you can really easily get rid of having patted a mattress down.
Yeah.
And you're like, this spot feels like there's a coil there. I bet there's something under that. I bet there's a secret compartment there. Because there's a really.
I think at this point I would come out of the bathroom if I haven't found anything else interesting.
Just in there, look over at dude who's talking with Lux. He's still preoccupied with Lux.
Totally enamored, barely saying anything. But
Look around. Are there cameras in this room?
there don't seem to be, no.
I'll pull back the sheets on the bed so that it's just mattress, not sheets.
Okay.
Pull out my vibro knife and just cut into that spot real quick. Peel it open and
All right.
look.
Some of the foam that exists within these mattresses just sort of puffs out, sort of like bubbling out of a wound. And you can see underneath a coil of metal.
Look at it for a minute. Put the knife away, pull the sheets back over, leaving the hole there. Pull the blankets back over, just leave it.
Is this not a coil bed?
It is a coiled bed.
Okay.
I rolled
The sci-fi coiled bed that happens to also have foam in it.
Also, I rolled a despair.
Okay.
So yeah. I put it back together with a hole hidden underneath the sheets.
All right.
Turn
After
around.
having determined that your conviction hunch was, oops, no, there's not actually anything there.
Nothing there.
But at least he's gonna get a new mattress if he comes back, because this one was probably really uncomfortable.
It's
that-
true. It had
There
lots
was
of springs.
a significant piece in the middle of it that was annoyingly hard, and you were like, "Hey, that's probably something."
Like the springs on this thing are very not well broken in. They didn't use high quality springs for this mattress. You definitely need a new one. It's probably why your back hurts, dude. So I did you a favor.
So let me cut it open.
I did you a favor, is what I'm saying.
Yep.
I mean, we now know
Totally.
why he escaped. Poor sleeping conditions.
Exactly. Like I would escape too if my bed had a like a rigid coil right in the middle of it.
Yeah, you've just got a bunk. Though mostly you sleep on the deck.
I do.
I'll
And
be
the
the
chair is
cockpit.
very comfortable.
You sleep in a chair.
It's a comfortable chair.
I've slept in a chair.
Sure it is.
I was like, turn around, straighten up, look over at Lux, just shake my head.
So, do a smooth transition into. So, is there anywhere else that he was regularly? And we've seen his lab, we've seen his quarters. Was there anybody that he was particularly close with here? Was there?
I make a handcuffing motion behind his back to try to indicate security.
I'm getting there. I remember.
Well, let's see what he knows.
I'm expecting this to be no, so it's yeah.
Not that I know of. He might, like, he had colleagues, but I wasn't close to him. I don't know if anyone was. I guess he probably is at the cafeteria sometimes, because most people go to the cafeteria sometimes.
Right. So I don't think that we would find anything in the cafeteria. So the one other place I think that we should probably look into is see if we can track his movements through your security surveillance. Could we go to the security room?
Yeah, sure. It's kind of on the other side, but absolutely, let's go.
Wonderful. Arm around his shoulder.
Yeah. And on the way there, unless you stop him, he will start telling you stories about himself. He is a double major in communications and geology who got scholarship from
The entire walk,
little
Powder
farm
will-
town.
The entire walk, Powder will like randomly just say a word that he has said. Just because.
And every time you do, he seems confused for like half a second, but his attention is so fully on Lux that he seems to think he's speech jamming himself or saying words twice instead of realizing that there was a droid behind him saying words.
That's amazing.
And I am, of course, entirely interested in his stories about himself. I mean, I'm assuming he passed his communications degree with a C minus, but that's, I don't express that.
While we're walking, I just want to look and see if I notice any more of those little
So that's
red
where
lights.
the geology stuff comes in. Because
Yeah.
I wasn't doing so well, and when you double major, they let you get away with lower grades in some of the high level classes.
I'm sure you did fine either way.
Yeah.
I mean, when you split your attention like that into two different but important fields, it can definitely, it's hard to keep, it's hard to be perfect in both.
Lux, I also want you to, if you're listening, even if you're just sort of,
Yeah.
I want you to make me an empathy check. Anyone else who's listening can also do this. Difficulty of 2 for Lux, 3 for anyone else that would like to listen.
Empathy.
Reportedly not. I'm looking to see if there are
totally am.
cameras watching us as we go.
Empathy is
It's not
correct?
too hard to tell. Yeah, there's regular cameras along the hall.
Yeah, I'm
What
like,
is empathy?
It's cool, right? I
Empathy.
believe that's what it is.
Yeah, because empathy isn't in this list.
Because we're not in
Yes,
Federation D&D.
you're right. Empathy isn't on this list. It is cool.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And what's the difficulty?
Difficulty of 2 for Lux, 3 for anyone that's listening in. Because it's harder when you're not the one being directly.
So that's 5 successes and a threat.
And I got 1 success and 4
Oh
threat.
shit! No, I have to re-roll. There was a boost die and an upgrade in that.
I
still.
think that boost die might be your racial ability.
No, that's not. That's because I didn't take those out.
All right. Yes.
The
you
boost
do
die
have
didn't
to
actually
re-roll.
apply anything that was blank.
But there was an
However,
upgrade
I
in
do
there
want
as
you
well.
to re-roll it anyway. Just because.
Still 2 successes and 3
2
advantages.
successes and 3 advantages works. Powder, listening in. What he's talking about having studied is very different from what he's doing. Maybe he wasn't very good at what he studied. Yeah, I got confused because your race has an empathy-related ability that's
Yes.
a different thing.
Which gives
I'm
me,
done.
yeah, that gives me advantage stuff, or it gives me an extra advantage on a couple of things and subtracts from, yeah, anyway.
Yes,
It happens.
there are a lot of systems, and this one has some weird naming conventions.
Yeah.
No, we're
I
just
like
changing.
it generally, but that is the thing about it. So with 2 successes, Lex, and 3 advantages, geez. Lex, while you're listening to him talk about this, it's clear that this guy is very good at what he currently does. Probably better than his pay grade. So it's a little... He doesn't seem untruthful, but it's a little weird for him to talk so proudly about being a communications geology guy when he's clearly really good at this much more theoretical, high-level experimental technology.
Okay. So I will steer the conversation that way.
You're
and ask him-
wondering how he ended up here a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to, yes, ask him, so what brought him to this position? How did he end up here?
Oh, so, like, after school, I kind of couldn't find a job, so I went back to the farm for a little bit, but the thing was I went to school because the farm wasn't making money, and we kind of needed that, and I wasn't as good at sports as I was when I started school, and then they just kind of found me. Apparently they'd read some of the stuff I did in school, and they thought I was a good fit, so he, the guy in charge of this, that eyes, he was like, hey, we think you'd be cool for this. And I was like, hey, does it pay money? And, well, he said, yes. And I was like, cool. He's like, you're going to live on a barren rock. And I said, that's fine. I get money. So, yeah. And then I've been out here for a few years, and I kind of get to do communication stuff. Sometimes, but I'm sort of the newest recruit.
This isn't your focus. Okay.
Well, I think I was recruited to do some of the experiment stuff, or at least that's what they talked about when they brought me on. But then when I was here, they don't take me seriously. It's fine. They just don't take me seriously.
No, it's not fine. But
You're so nice. Pretty. Oh,
completely let that fly by so as not to further embarrass. So anyway, as we're still walking along, so I mean that's interesting. So they specifically sought you out and recruited you. Did you even have like? Did you even have feelers out there about something?
I mean, so like I went to school, and obviously the school's supposed to provide, but like it depends a little bit on your grades, how much you get, and like I said, I double majored because I wasn't very good at what I was doing, I guess. No, I liked it, and it was good, and I think I'm good at it.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like you've had this conversation before, Aaron.
I am a college student. What person that exists in the vague area of colleges hasn't had some variation of this conversation?
You're not wrong.
I haven't.
You went to art school.
Fair. It's fair.
Valid point.
It was a film school. Oh.
So art school with less mess and more pretension.
More mess. What are you talking about?
Less mess that requires mopping up.
Wow.
So yeah. So I will just.
Kind of mop.
That's giving me something to go out. Let's just keep walking, keep him talking, and let him go off, and I will just pluck little bits of information out here and there if anything relevant comes up. But mostly, I'm looking to get us to the security bay.
It is, as you know, pretty far on the other side.
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's far from everything, but that seems like a safe guess given the route you go. And he sort of, instead of actually using the keypad here, he just knocks on the door. Guys, the door half opens and shuts in his face. And half opens again. He starts walking. It shuts in his face. Guys! Visitor!
I'm gonna shoot these fuckers. I don't say that.
He pouts at the door for a second before it opens and actually opens and lets you guys in. Inside there is, again, it's almost like a clinical office building. There's a few terminals, clearly designed so that someone not directly in front of them would have trouble looking at the screens. A few cameras that are more generally something that anyone could watch. There's a guy at the main desk and a few people at each of the terminals. Or a few people each assigned to their own terminal.
Do these people look like security guards, or do they look like people in lab coats playing security guard?
They look like security guards.
So there's like 6 people?
All sort of buff, tall, muscular, probably have seen some fighting, done some had some training.
I don't suppose there's any information I can glean just from looking at them, like what sort of background they might have?
Make me a knowledge outer rim roll.
Okay. I'm gonna spend a light side point. Use the light. Difficulty what?
Difficulty of 3, because you're just looking at them from a distance and trying to be like, what training does this person have?
You know, like the way they're holding themselves, what weapons they might be carrying.
Which is a check you can make. It's just not the easiest
Success
check.
and 2 threats.
These look like there are a few groups that produce sort of standard issue security. You remember previously you identified one of the people with... you identified Luis as having sort of standard security training as well. These people also seem to have probably come out of some sort of
Like corporate
school.
security. Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They're all following what would probably be policy. You haven't gone through such training yourself.
But they're not. They're corporate security, not soldiers or mercenaries.
They seem like corporate security.
So they'll die faster. I mean,
honestly, if you're talking about huts, corporate security are their soldiers. So it doesn't always matter when you're fighting them.
But they're not.
They're not Empire. No.
Sorry, I was thinking the pigmen who's Gamorreans. They're not Gamorreans.
No, none of them are.
Okay. All right.
None of them are human either, but
Various Star Wars alien species.
yes, various Star Wars alien species that are more stereotypically bruisers.
Is one of them just a dude that has just a messed up face that might be an alien, might be a human, that got his face sawed in half?
Yeah.
Half Cronenberg.
That's the guy that's the guy who's sort of sitting looking at the monitors at the sort of central table.
I don't like you either.
Yeah. So yes, I walk in just looking annoyed at the prank, just giving us sort of the air of authority that, because fuck these guys.
Yeah, as soon as we walk in, I go, "Who's the jackass that wouldn't open the door?"
I remain quiet.
So do I.
What do you want to know?
We're here looking into the incident that happened, and we need access to security logs.
Yeah. Whatever. Which security logs?
Oh, it's okay. I've got it. You can wait out there.
Make me a...
Can I help this with a coercion? Because I've displayed on
you
ornery.
You can either make an individual test, or one of you can give the other a boost die. One or the other.
Can I give Lux a boost die by being sort of like the muscle in the back?
That's what I'm here for.
Not just by standing there in this situation.
Okay. I'll lean against the wall next to the door then, and just keep an eye on everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the door.
All right. So you make an individual test, or are you gonna?
No, I'll give Lux a boost die.
Cool. Lux, make whatever role you are trying. You feel like you're going for when you're trying to exert your influence authority self.
Okay.
I will let you determine which role it is. I would say charm's probably unlikely, but...
Yeah, no, I will go... Negotiation.
Okay.
And was that difficulty?
Difficulty of 3.
Alright. And was that I do have a boost die from...
You have a boost die, yes.
Okay. And what the hell? Have a dark side point. Creation. So that's a success and an advantage.
Okay. Looks at you. Look, just because we were told to give you whatever wanted doesn't mean that. And he actually swears.
I walk up.
And
lean down till I'm about this far away from his face. I don't think you heard me.
He sort of backs halfway away, gives a signal to the other guards. All three of them just look more daily routine as they get up. He brushes past you kind of roughly and storms out.
Cool. I got what I wanted. That's all that matters.
So the guards have all left.
All right.
Are the door controls right next to me?
Nope.
Please lock the door on them. It's okay. I'll sit
I
down.
didn't go into the room. I'm standing outside the door.
Okay.
So
Please
they
tell
walk
me the
out-
door's gonna shut, and then when we open, they're just gonna be gone. Nobody ever knows what happened to them. And I will sit
That's
down
the
and I
kind
will
of thing
start.
that you can whisper to the GM if you want to attempt.
Are you gonna shut the doors? Because apparently the door controls aren't next to me.
Yes, I will sit
Yeah.
down, shut the door,
Okay.
and start looking through security
Yes.
logs for that. Like I look back at Andreas. I'm sorry. Which night was it again? How long ago? Day?
And he'll rattle off the correct date.
And while that is scanning back, I'm going into the security information.
Okay. Make me a computer check difficulty 2 with setback that is removed by your ability.
So are the three people that left, are they just right outside the door, or did they like walk away, or?
They're in the hallway. They're not.
Okay, well then I'm listening in on any conversation they're having between themselves.
Did we decide what languages you speak?
I believe. Let me check. Nope, that's not the thing I wanted to do. I know that I had basic and binary, and I think we said that I spoke like the most major known ones,
Okay,
but I don't
yeah.
think we wrote it down any place because I don't think there's a place to write it down.
Yeah. So Star Wars has, I can't exactly remember the quote, but blank forms of communication. There's a lot of languages in Star Wars, including one specific.
Oh, no.
For nearly every race. So
Yeah.
it would.
I know what it was. What we did was I couldn't remember what I spoke until I heard it spoken.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So in that case, that is right. I knew there was something.
Yeah.
In that case, you hear sort of rough guttural sounds of what your brain interprets as a language, but then flags as something you're not current, that is missing from your database that you can't speak.
Okay.
As two of the guards, not the one that got in Lux's face, start talking. They seem mostly to be fairly casual. None of them particularly regard you or engage you in conversation unless you start talking to them.
I would probably say hello in binary just because. Just to see if they understood binary.
One of them will, knocks on the door. You left your droid!
No response.
Open it halfway and then shut it again.
Sorry, I guess. Some people are dicks. Droids, especially.
Okay, in basic, they'll say dicks. And like do the head nod.
Yeah, you know.
This is the greatest infiltration in the history of infiltrations.
We're infiltrating?
I mean,
We kind of just walked in.
Yes, that is a form of infiltration.
We walked in not pretending to be anybody other than who we are and what we were here for.
Yes, but they are clearly assuming we are somebody else, and we are not contradicting that.
There is that.
Speaking of which,
First rule.
Lux is hacking the computers. Praz, are you doing anything else?
I'll try to look through the video logs, I guess. You
Cool.
said that they scrub them, but
Lux, you said you were gonna sort of put up the video logs, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's challenging because, as he said, a lot of the video does get overridden.
yeah.
But you have
Mhm.
some of the major cameras don't get overridden, so you have some records of like the main
Okay.
areas and major hallways at that night.
Is the lab one of them?
Unfortunately, the lab does seem to be one of the things that gets overridden.
This is the dumbest research company ever.
Yes.
Yeah, they have
Or the
a lot of
smartest.
bad policies.
Or the smartest,
Look-
yes.
You're not sure if these people were specifically designed to bother you? But damn, they're doing a good job in some respect. Yeah, so you want to go into their security communications and presumably look for what you're looking for from the outside.
Yes, I want to find out. Well, there's a couple things I'm looking to find out. Who actually gave us the okay to come in? Who's actually in charge here? There's one more, and I'm trying to think of it. Who gave us the okay to come in? Who's actually in charge here? And essentially, like, what is the chatter? What is the chatter within that, like those data banks about Dorian and about what happened?
Okay.
Because I'm 90% sure that this poor guy, who I am half tempted to just knock unconscious and take with us, is not being told anything.
Yep.
So those are what I'm looking for.
All right. Okay, so first thing you're looking for, you're looking at the looking at these databanks. Make me a computers check, yes, you already did. The first thing that you're able to determine is who gave you the okay to come.
Yes.
It was the guy who was the head on security duty, the dude you just fucked
The
with.
dude that I just told to get the fuck out.
Taserface.
He made the call. He didn't like send this information elsewhere and get a call before.
It seems like he had instructions about essentially ships matching your description.
That's
Every ship
terrifying.
has a unique code. A few ships do have systems that allow them to scramble or create an artificial version of that code.
Mhm.
Yours does not.
Right.
So the code of your ship, it seems, was something it's not necessarily in the database beyond that it was flagged as a code this.
Mhm.
Or
So our
fit
unique
these
transponder
parameters.
signal.
But given those parameters, he didn't seem to contact anyone. He just let you in.
Okay.
You can also access records of other times ships have entered. That's not typical.
Yes.
Most ships that enter and leave here go through several layers of confirmation.
I mean, our transponder signal is basically basically that's communication saying, if these people come, give them access,
Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah.
So yes,
People
so
in
now
this ship type show up.
yes. So now I'm looking as basically part of that part 2. Who's actually in charge of this?
Mm-hmm.
Who gave that? Who sent that? If the Nasari shows, if the Nasari shows up, give them access. Because I have some suspicions, but I also
do you share that information, by the way?
not yet.
Okay.
There is somebody in the room that might be problematic to just start. And I wasn't leaving him out with those assholes because this poor guy.
I love how you oscillate from this poor guy to I'm going to fuck up this guy.
No, this guy, I feel terrible because I am completely fucking with his head.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
But I feel terrible about it. And I have a lot of sympathy for him. And I kind of want to bring him along as a mascot for the Minasari. I have no other value, but just...
He will die in an hour. Don't get your hopes up.
Less than now.
Okay, so we're all casting votes about the fate of the NPC. Let's move back to the conversation. So with 3 successes, it's hard to determine exactly who's in charge, though. Again, it's weird. It comes through several shell companies. The money seems to come from basically nowhere. But all of the orders are very specific. There are some parameters. This is what we are doing here. Everyone who's here was specifically selected to be here, aside from you, of course.
Right.
And what was the third thing you were looking for? Dorian related info.
Like how the security team reacted, what they know that Durius doesn't.
In terms of what they know, they seem to be more lost than you are on what the science of all this is. However, they seem like what they do know is that they informed the people above them of the disappearance of the scientist and were informed that specialists would be coming by to resolve the issue.
Okay.
Which may be part of why they were so unsurprised by your appearance.
Hey, San?
Yep.
Come here a sec.
I walk over.
So, first thing, I'm throwing up that letterhead thing that looked familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have to sort of crouch to see the screen because it is designed so only someone at eye level of the computer can see the screen.
Yeah, so I like put hand on shoulder, lean over to look over shoulder.
Okay.
So our heads are like on equivalent level.
Make me a knowledge underworld check. Difficulty of 3.
I think I know why this letterhead is familiar.
You still have to make the
I
check
know.
because your character has to actually put it together because it's not
I'm spending a light side.
necessarily what you think.
Difficulty 3, you said?
Difficulty of 3.
A failure.
Failure. It's a shape. It's a letterhead.
Mm-hmm.
It corresponds to the company.
I'll walk over. Pop down on the other side.
I know.
Have a gander.
Somebody's got to get this right.
3 heads in a row. Somebody
just staring
please
at
draw
the
fan art of
computer,
that. Just there's 3 heads in a row.
Yeah, these 3 people leaning over the computer screen.
I mean, I'm sitting down. You guys can lean over.
Raz,
So, yep, I walk over.
make
Look
me
at the
that
screen.
same check.
Okay. I'm going to use light side point 2.
That Go ahead and burn all those light sides.
That's right. Knowledge underworld. A failure and a threat.
Man, y'all know nothing.
Okay.
I don't know.
With all of you having failed that check, none of you recognize this as a signal you have seen before, nor do
Okay.
you recognize it as something that you're familiar with as a common.
It just seems vaguely familiar to me.
It seems vaguely familiar,
Okay.
but it's kind
You
of
always
it's
ask
the
to
kind
join
of
the
familiar
hall.
where you've walked by that bar a few times, but you're not sure if you've ever
Right.
been there.
So
I will snap a picture and send an image of that letterhead, whatever it is, to my clan.
and I just sort of like look at Lux. What am I looking at?
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute. So here is, as I start bringing up all the information about, they were told to expect us, and we would be solving this problem,
Were they?
despite the fact that we
were-
didn't
were
tell
they- were they-
anybody about this.
They were told to expect specifically us.
Our transponder code for our ship. Yes, us.
You mean the transponder code of the ship that was given to us by
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's him. It's very probably him, but it doesn't necessarily mean it.
Who else would have our transponder code and the authority to give it out to people as a let these people into the facility if they ever come by? Or
Potentially anybody.
Just 2 additional pieces of information because it has been a long time. You do know that when you initially got the ship, there were some allusions to it being repossessed, having been someone else's before yours. You also know, this might be more relevant, that when you were speaking to Doreen, when you were speaking to intern mascot guy,
Darius.
Darius.
Fuck this.
You did it to yourself.
It's
okay.
today. Like I couldn't remember the word remote. It's today. He mentioned something about eyes and guy who, in relation to the guy who recruited him. You do remember that the Shaper did have. Once again, this isn't necessarily the same person, but did have unusually sharp blue eyes that were sort of a piercing, probably synthetic color.
Did it ring a bell for anybody?
Also, Praz, that image you took, you managed to get it, but it's a little bit, it's challenging. Once again, this particular screen is designed to be challenging to look at from a bad angle or take a picture of. So with effort, you managed to angle your camera just right, but it is sort of got some slats in it.
So I am
That's
under
fine.
the impression that this is related to our ship more than us. Either the person that gave it to us, which seems more likely, or whoever had it before the person that gave it to us, which seems less likely because I feel like they're probably dead. And if not dead, wishing they were.
Well, and if not dead, then hunting us down.
That too. Maybe they're the ones that brought paint onto our ship.
So I'm gonna open up a channel with the Nasari.
Okay.
I'm going to send all of this information over.
Okay. Rerun beeps that he's busy at you, and that
Okay.
he will not be helping with you with your stupid whatever this is.
That's fine. In fact, it just I just send fuck off.
That was for the ship's computer.
There's a
not you,
colorful.
Rerun.
set of beeps back.
Ship's computer is helpful.
So, yeah, I send all of that information that we've discovered over, including, the letter, et cetera, et cetera. Wipe the logs that it was sent.
Okay. You're in the security system
Yeah.
with the successes you rolled previously. That's fairly easy. And by fairly easy, just you don't have to roll for it.
Yeah.
And anything else that we should know?
Well, anything you want to.
I'm
No.
talking to Lux.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Would you back
It's
up, back
okay,
up a
Derek.
bit?
You're okay. It's fine.
Jesus, I didn't even realize he was right behind me.
He almost got decked by two guys. Wham! Back to Lux.
Not that I can. Oh God.
Did any ships land or take off that were noted between him disappearing and us arriving?
Bleep bloop blork.
I assume that was you asking the GM because
Yes,
you were
that
typing
was
in the
me.
computer.
That was me
Oh
searching
no,
information.
Sorry, I said that previously. No,
Okay.
there are previous ships that you can sort of cross-reference with yours, but none of them since this disappearance.
So no ship has come and gone since he's disappeared.
Aside from yours, who just came.
Yeah, which means that either he's still on the planet or still in the installation, or that he had a secret ship stashed away somewhere far away from this location.
Which, Lex, you're in the security system. It would be challenging to leave this planet unnoticed.
Yeah.
Cloaked ships, once again, being a possibility given this context, but they have some really thorough scanning equipment for anything entering or leaving.
I'm assuming that even if their miniaturized cloaking scanners are inefficient, like the intern thinks, their ship-scale cloaking scanners probably work effectively if such a thing exists. Check it. I don't suppose you can see if there's a log of anybody reporting missing food. Like they have a cafeteria. I'm assuming they have a kitchen staff, right? Has the kitchen staff been reporting missing supplies?
Ticket.
No, there's been no reports of missing food, missing other supplies. No, like.
I enjoy
But
these
then
fake
again, it
typing
doesn't
sounds.
seem like this isn't Starbucks or the mall. They don't keep inventory of every single cup.
I mean, like, boxes of food have gone missing, so there's no
Right.
They don't have they haven't been like reporting a rat infestation that they need to get rid of, or
No.
No.
There doesn't seem to be anything matching that.
So if their food isn't being touched, or at least not being reported as being touched, it's unlikely that he's still here, assuming that he has to eat. He's a human, isn't he?
Yes.
The person you're looking
He's
for.
an organic, I know that much.
I mean, organic doesn't, like, there are some organics that don't need to eat food. But if he's a human,
yes,
then he
you're
does.
looking for it.
So he's probably not in the base if he's still in a state in which he needs to eat food.
Yeah, he turned himself invisible and then starved to death.
Yeah,
I will never find his body.
That would be the...
Yeah,
solution.
so...
does this station have planetary scanners, or do we need to go back to our ship for that?
Yep. You've got scanners.
Okay.
So we would be looking for any sort of an additional outpost that...
Yeah, somewhere
Right.
where he
Shouldn't
could
be
be
there.
hiding.
Or some place that looks like it could hold a outpost, even if the scanners can't find it.
Okay. Make me a... This is going to be a Yeah, let's make it a computer's check. Difficulty of 2 for
'Kay.
1.
Scan the planet or scan the moon.
That's no moon.
No, it is
Planet.
actually a moon.
It is actually
No
a
success, but an advantage.
that fits. Lux, you're going through this scan data. A lot of it is just collected regularly and you're combing through it. It doesn't seem... You can't find any evidence of an additional outpost or a location, which fits with what you detected when you were ongoing. However, you do notice that the system tracks a lot of compounds and elements that aren't traditionally found in scanners. You specifically don't know much about what that would mean, but some of the names you do recognize as things that your friend has been rattling off about.
Okay. Well,
Do I recognize those as well? Since I'm watching over Lux's shoulder.
Oh, yeah, if you're still in that, it is a slightly awkward position, but if you're still watching the screen, yeah. You also recognize that these are compounds that have been mentioned by him a few times. Some of them match up with things that you've heard about before.
I'll lean my head back. Dorius?
Yeah.
Darius.
Dorius.
Curious.
Could you come
Fine,
look at
I
this?
don't care what people
Could you come
call
look at this, please?
Yeah, sure. And he sort of leans
What do you
down.
make? What do you make of this reading?
Well, that's so, and he'll point to a few of the things. So these clusters, these molecules they degrade pretty quickly, and they're related to the traces of the more successful variations on the diffusion versions of the experiment. So it's a little weird to see them out that far. Like, they say there's no way he turned invisible, thing was a failure, whatever. But there's nothing out there, so I'm not sure why, because this moon doesn't naturally have that compound. We mostly track it to make sure there isn't a dangerously high amount in the facility, because that apparently can cause problems. Apparently, if people die, it's a thing.
All right. Lux, can you rig our sensors to scan for this compound?
Yeah, I'm sure I can.
'Cause I feel like we should go take a ride.
Yes.
How far out is this area? How far out of the area that like he sort of indicated where it seems strange that it would be there? Like, is this something you can get to on a land speeder, or is it something we need to take the ship?
It's probably easier to take a land speeder.
Right.
You could take a ship, but this is a pretty small moon.
Yeah. Look over at Prez. Want to go hunting?
This is the place that I couldn't bring my gun into, right?
I don't know
Like,
whether or not
my carbine. I think
you were
this is-
discouraged by your allies from bringing your carbine. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, I'm fine with that.
Look back at Lux. So if we can scan for this compound, we can go take the speeder and go find him, or whatever is giving off that compound that shouldn't be giving off that compound.
Let's see if I can find one for us.
Alright. Yeah. So you want to rig land speeders to? You can't do that remotely.
No.
No, we can do the scans on the ship.
Yes.
Have somebody I can stay on the ship, monitor those, and tell you guys on speeders where to go.
Okay.
All right, let's get going then.
Are we using speeder bikes or are we using a land speeder?
We don't have speeder bikes.
From
These guys might.
So I want to remind you,
I'll
you're
give us
still
anything.
currently in the security building.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna leave. It's a security building.
Okay.
You can open the door now, Lux.
And outside, you see Powder is actively engaging in conversation.
Well, first the door goes open, close, open, close.
Yes.
Open.
Close.
Wait till somebody goes to reach their hand in. Almost shut on their hand. And then finally open again.
As I walk out, you should probably do
Sorry,
something about these
buggy
doors.
door.
Guy, yeah, fuck you too. The guy who was talking to Powder says, and then heads back to his post.
And Powder just looks and goes, dicks.
Look at Powder. What are you talking about?
Dicks.
Why are you talking about that?
Why not?
If a robot could shrug, that's what happens.
You can. You have shoulders.
Oh, that's right. So yes, you see a kind of shrug happen.
Lux, I really think you need to reprogram this one. And start heading away.
Okay. Unless you tell him otherwise, the intern guy is going to follow you as the security people roughly take back their space.
Did I get any
Okay.
message back from?
Not right now, no. You
Okay.
get essentially the same response the rest of the group got, that he's busy and not going to help with that
Okay.
right now.
That's fine.
So yeah, look over Lux. Do you want him to come with us, or
I mean, I think you could be a lot of value for if you would like to join me on the ship, and we can, or go with you if you guys need him more out there.
it'd probably be useful to have somebody you can actually tell what they're looking for with us on the ground.
Yes, we would. I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, if that's... I'm supposed to do whatever you guys need done.
Wonderful.
Kill the head security guy.
You
Bring
just
a
put
gun.
him on the nose.
Just
Yes.
hand him a
I
pistol.
100% did.
And that's where we're going to take a quick break.
All right, we'll be back in a bit. And then we're gonna hand an intern a pistol and tell him to go wild on the security guards.
It's Sen's pistol. I snuck it off his belt.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
And we'll be back. And we're back. Hope you all got a drink, use the bathroom, do whatever.
Hopefully not in the same place.
I mean,
Hey.
if your refrigerator's in the bathroom, you're living the correct life.
Yes. One
Yeah.
A refrigerator.
You're living a life anyway.
Especially if you have the refrigerator in the bathroom and the TV in the shower, like the screen
Yes.
right there, like
Yeah,
embedded
like,
in.
yeah, like you embed it in the wall and you put like the waterproof
Yes.
glass over it so
Exactly.
it's not gonna get wet.
You are living the
That-
dream.
That is,
point is,
you are
we know
living
how
your
to stay
best
on
life if that is true. Because then you're just taking a shower, reach out, get a drink, turn the TV on, watch whatever. That's great.
Practically a
Okay,
spa.
ignoring very interesting hygiene determinations. And moving onwards.
Boys are weird.
You are now headed back to your ship. Again, you weave through quite a bit of these corridors before ending up back at the open area where your ship is. You, I assume, go in and get the land speeders?
Yep. And our other gear. But Praz, get the big gun.
I mean, I kind of want to use my fists if anything goes down, but all right.
Just in case. We don't know what native life
Yeah.
is on this moon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
walk.
I will go to my room and I will get my
If a,
disruptor rifle
if
and
it-
my carbine.
if a pterodactyl-looking motherfucker swoops down on us, I want that disruptor rifle ready.
I'm gonna walk onto the ship and basically like see if Lux wants me to stay with her or not.
No, you should probably go out on the land speeder. I'm less likely to need medical attention here than them.
And the ship gets boarded and Lux gets killed.
True. Is Rerun on the ship?
You don't see rerun at the moment.
He's forming himself into a torpedo so he can launch
So what-
himself.
No,
Once
he's
again, our-
assembling an army. Just go with it.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, so once again, the ship has been left unattended.
Yep.
Yeah. What else?
Powder will notice this and say something to Lux in binary, just because Powder knows that Lux understands binary. But basically say, might want to check the ship. Rerun seems to be missing.
Fucking droid. Okay. Thank you.
And then Powder will follow
Okay.
with them.
Three of you are headed out on land speeders. Let's start there. Lux. What?
Sorry, no, it was first true. You went to Lux, so.
No. Yeah, we're starting with the land speeders.
Oh, because I was the first thing I was going to do was click open the comm link and hold the comm link open so that we'd have a constant stream of communication with the ship, and then ask Lux for directions.
Yep.
I was going to say, Lux can pretty easily give you directions to the
Yeah.
place you're scanning for.
Go this
There
way,
you go.
go this way, left, right, right again, right one more time. Now you're back where you started. Keep going. What?
You do, being back on the ship, you do manage to confirm that the thing you were currently scanning for is the same particle trace that you were scanning for back when you were trapped in the system with all the ghosts.
Oh. Great. Landspeeder Alpha. Be advised.
When did we become Landspeeder Alpha?
Oh, I'm sorry, Landspeeder Omega. Because you are then the least important of the land speeders we have on our ship.
Which is
You
true.
are Alpha
We are-
and
we-
Omega.
We are both Alpha and Omega. That is correct.
I know that's a Breaking Bad reference.
It's also a biblical reference.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
biblical
Oh, fair
reference.
enough.
It's a bad reference is what it is.
I am the Alpha and
But-
the Omega. Now, what are you trying to say?
The Alpha and the Omega. What the
advised,
fuck do you want?
there may be there is the probably minor but not in an insignificant possibility of echoes of a organic nature.
There's a cave. Someone's yelling in it. I don't get this reference.
I wasn't here for this, I don't think.
Of the spiritual variety.
There's a
Do you remember the
cave?
ghost place?
Yes, I remember the ghost place.
We're looking for that.
Same compounds?
Yeah.
That
Because
was
remember that was some sort of stealth technology.
Yes, that was the compound for.
Yeah.
That was the
This is the
compound for
same kind
current
of. This is the same
ship-based stealth
organic material, or the same elements.
Okay. Then I assume we're on the correct track then.
Yes, I'm just saying. Prepare to be haunted. Have fun.
You say that as if I am not always.
Well, that brought the room down.
We're in a landspeeder, not a room.
I'm talking about my room.
Why are you broadcasting from the escape pod?
Fuck off.
Johnny.
Go right.
Sorry.
Now go right
None of
one
my
more.
business.
Okay, one more right.
If you tell us to make 4 rights, I will turn this
You're back
landspeeder
where you
back
started
around.
again. You have to give me my petty joys.
I did. They're in the cabinet next to the couch.
No, those are my non-petty joys. Anyways, you're on target right now.
Wow.
After probably longer than it would otherwise take, you do eventually manage to make it to the far side of this moon. As you reach out, this spider web of tubes and pods that makes up the compound becomes thinner and thinner, and you're seeing less of it more in the distance further behind you. When you eventually arrive at what does appear to be some natural overhangs, almost a cave system, but you're not sure if you can quite call it that because it's more that the rocks have grown in a wave pattern.
Oh, look, Lux, you were right. There is a cave system.
See how good I am?
Are
Be
we
advised,
there
if you
yet?
go into a cave system, there is the distinct possibility, since we don't necessarily know, that we will lose communication.
That's fair. Well, if you hear screaming and yelling, then your boy Tori has wet himself. And we'll see you when we get back.
He is a perfectly capable person. You'll be fine. I'm more worried about you. Not really, I'm just talking. Out of character, not really. I'm just trying to be nice to the poor guy.
Who can hear everything because the comm is open.
Yeah, he
Yes.
can hear everything that is
Exactly.
being
That's why he's saying it.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. I've got your buddy here as a meat shield.
If he doesn't come back in one piece, I'm putting this on you.
Okay.
And Powder will speak up.
Besides, I
I
won't
can
keep
heal.
screaming because communication will be cut off.
Yeah, but you know communication when it gets cut off. There's always some sporadic bits of dramatically appropriate signal that gets through, so you can hear just enough to be concerned, but not enough to have any actual knowledge about what's going on.
Just sounds of blaster fire.
No,
Some
actually, those are
monstrous
supposed to be the sounds of static. I'm not very good at it. Well, there's random static, but at that point, Lux, you are starting to get some static on the comms.
Right. All right, so things are getting staticky now. Just know that if you die, I will carry on your legacy, Sen, as best as I am capable of doing so.
So not at all. Got it.
Have fun. Which probably comes across more like, just static. your legacy. Have fun.
You get the gist of it, but there is static sort of intermittently.
All right.
Missing pieces of words.
So does it seem like this cave system is where we were heading towards, or does it seem like we were just
Yeah,
going past by
this
it?
does seem to be the location Lux was looking for you towards. You determine that actually it's not quite caves in a traditional sense. It's more like a plateau that that the underside of fell without the top of falling.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the landspeeder in that direction until it becomes impassable terrain for the landspeeder, which would be difficult because it hovers.
Which is probably why in satellite images it doesn't look that unusual.
Yeah.
Or you did some cursory satellite scans.
It looks more like it looks like normal until you're actually there.
Yeah, because once you're on level with it, you're like, oh hey, there isn't a bottom here. There's a cave. Going through on the hover speeder, it's a little bit rocky. The terrain moves from side to side a bit. Make me a planetary piloting check. Difficulty of 3.
I am so good at that. Piloting planetary. I'll take the 1 point of strain and make that 3 successes.
Okay. With 3 successes. You do manage to keep the speeder fairly even as you continue into the cave system. All of you can hear sound becoming a little bit distorted. There's an odd echo to this space, in addition to the static on the still open but now silent comms. The 3 of you and your intern that you've dragged along on this for reasons. I want everyone to make me a perception check.
And while we're driving through the cave, I'm going to look over at him and ask, so is there any sort of visual or sensory signs to indicate this compound, or is it pretty much odorless and colorless?
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty of 3 for... And hey, I'm going to give each of you a dark side point because I can.
Hey, 3.
And also to give you guys points back.
So that upgrades dark side?
Yep.
Yep.
Upgrade the negative. Perception checks. 2 successes and a threat.
A success and a threat.
2 failures.
So there isn't really the compound itself is just something that naturally is a mineral some places. A few animals produce small quantities of it, trying to sort of adhere it to biological matter. With a splicing stuff. The other kind of splicing, not the hacky one.
It's slicing. No, I assume he says that, and I just correct him because he's not a hacker. He wouldn't know.
And he gives you that look of someone who is very used to people doing that to him. So that the mineral itself doesn't necessarily have any, but usually there's some level of dissonant experience when it's correctly fused, like a rock that's the wrong color or something like that. Things fill in, but they don't always fill in right. It's a sensory dissonance is what you're looking for most of the time. And as he's saying this, powder here, scanning. It seems to be a cave system. And Zen and Praz and Sen, you do both pick up on a few oddly shaped rocks. Perhaps partly as part of this suggestion, oddly shaped rocks, areas where the terrain seems almost illogical, like it should have been one way but is actually another. That once you focus in, maybe they change, correct themselves, but when you were glancing, they seemed wrong.
So I'll stop the speeder when I see that.
Yeah.
I'm a
You're
surgical
about-
droid. I don't know caves.
At what would be long range from this right now. But there's a specific area you've been able to pinpoint.
All right, kid. You and Powder stay with the speeder. I'm just going to leave it running, but leave it there.
Okay.
And get
Yes.
out and draw my blaster. Praz, you seeing that?
Yeah.
Powder will look at the dude. She's like, "Tell me stories," and then he'll just sit there.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay. So when you're growing up on farm, you guys hear this as we will come back to Powder's conversation. But,
Sounds good.
trailing forwards towards.
I will leave my I'll leave my sword and my truncheon in the trunk of the thing because I can't carry all my weapons yet.
Too many weapons.
So
Right,
all
you
I have
strap
on me
a
is
few things onto the side.
I've got my force pike on my back, but my blaster in my hand.
This area that sort of strikes you as off. Keep moving forwards, or
I'm heading towards it, keeping my eyes out for anything that jumps out at me.
yeah.
okay. At
Got
this
my
point, you
carbine
should
out.
make a difficulty 3 vigilance check.
Okay. Difficulty 3, Vigilante.
There's no T.
Failure with a threat.
4 successes and a threat.
All right.
I took those failures from you,
Then-
apparently.
You're focused in. You're prepared. But you're not seeing anything just yet, so you keep on moving forward. Kraz, what you saw is now moving. The place that you had located before now seems to be snaking around the side of you at an angle.
So the end of the tunnel is snaking away? or-
Sorry. No, this area where there were disturbances before, you're now seeing disturbances more to your side, not quite where you two are moving, where you first noticed the disturbances.
I'm still walking forward.
Okay. So yeah, I'll let Sen know that it's getting stronger as we go down. So just to keep an eye out. Looks like something's moving
Where?
off to the side. And I'll point.
Is it still moving, or is it stopped?
It's still moving.
It's hard to tell because you only catch a glimpse of it at one
Oh, then yeah.
at various points, but it did seem to have moved the next time you caught it. So, best guess.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'll relay that and we can keep going.
If it looked like it was moving towards us, is it possibly moving past us, back towards the landspeeder? I say turning around to scan.
Wait,
further
is it
back.
moving past us?
It's circling. It would be circling around you if it continued that trajectory. It's possible it could go that way or break
Then
off.
can I just get in a path to intercept whatever that disturbance was?
Yeah,
And
you
kind of
can make
train.
that
I
work.
want to train my blaster on it and kind of focus on it.
Make it. make me a vigilance test difficulty of 3 to aim correctly, because this is not something visual.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's not full stealth tech. Either.
Failure with
This
an
is
advantage.
Easier to notice than that. You aim your blaster where you last saw
I just
it.
want,
and
yeah,
there's
aim in the
this
general
box.
direction. Okay.
But you both make for what would be an interception path.
Yeah.
Sen, you can also make a difficulty 3 check.
Okay.
At this point, Powder, he's been talking to you. You've sort of asked a few questions, I assume.
Ah, 2 successes, 3 threats.
He mostly has been talking about farming and his home because you asked him to tell you stories. And that's the most story thing you can think of at the moment.
Yep.
But you're getting glimpses of things that might interest you. Just person is very. Make me a medicine check, difficulty of 3.
Difficulty 3.
2 successes, 3 threats, by the way.
Okay. 2
Medicine.
successes.
Ooh, 2 successes, 2 triumphs.
Well, with that. Okay.
Very good at medicine. It's a medical droid, it should be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Powder is a good medical droid and would like to inform you that this person, perhaps now that he's out of Lux's direct vicinity, you're noticing, but his pupils are dilated oddly. There's a bit of a twitch to his hand. Seems as though he's either currently coming off of some drug or in the early stages of withdrawal.
Okay.
He's a tweaker.
The exact drug is not something that would be easy for you to determine, but it's some kind of stimulant.
Do I have anything that would well, I can always do that. Let's see. Yeah, just because I'm going to pull out the half bottle of generic alcohol that I found in Dorian's quarters and offer him a drink.
Okay, I guess, you want, are you gonna say anything or just?
I'll open the stomach compartment, pull out the bottle, drink.
Oh, of course, sure. He'll take the bottle and take a small swig. Thanks. Hand it back to you.
Yeah.
2 successes, 3 threat on my vigilance.
All right. Yeah. Sen, you do manage to. You're trying to focus down, which isn't quite working. So you just try and follow it. Try and not look too closely because it seems like the closer you look, the better it is at hiding from you.
Mm-hmm.
But you do manage to sort of angle it down, head in the correct direction. You're within short range of whatever this is.
I would like to switch my...
Still not seeing or hearing it directly.
I would like to switch my blaster to stun and fire at whatever it is.
Okay.
Because something is stealthing past me.
Yeah. Make me an
How
attack
far
roll
away
with
are they?
2 setback die.
With, how many setback die?
2.
2? Alright.
This is not full stealth tech.
Yeah.
How far away is this happening from where we are?
This is at probably medium range from where you are.
Okay.
Alright. So I get my... do I get my quick strike bonus die? It adds a bonus die per rank of Quick Strike to combat checks against targets that have not yet acted this encounter.
I'm gonna say running away counts as acting this encounter.
Okay.
Given that this is not a particularly,
So
given that this is a
Got it. Just want to check. I'm going to use a light side point.
Sure.
And I don't think I can use that to help. No, only on melee attacks. Brawl attacks. Okay. And I will fire the weapon.
All right.
2 successes, 2 threats.
Alright.
So that would be 10 points of stun damage.
To it. Okay. You pull out this heavy blaster pistol that you've sort of had the entire time, flick a setting on it, and strike out. This little blue wave bursts out of the gun, aiming at what is just the same rubble that's everywhere else, and makes some level of contact, hitting the ground, and then you hear what sounds almost like a thud, like some of the rocks fell over, but no, that's not. The rocks didn't fall over. There's something there. You know there's something there.
Is it still moving?
Whatever. Not that you can tell. Whatever it is, the distortion's staying in the same place for the moment.
So with the blaster still aiming at it, I'm gonna walk over and try to put my hand on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be walking up next to him.
Yeah. It takes a little time and effort, and Powder, you do notice this in the middle of handing this guy some alcohol and handing you the bottle back for a few sips.
I asked a thing in whisper.
Oh. That would be, in this system, make me a skullduggery check, difficulty of 3.
I just got this mental image of turn around, whip blaster up, woo woo woo, thunk. All right.
Well, that would be a failure and a threat.
Okay, Powder, you sort of give him the alcohol bottle, take it back, and then...
I was trying to do it while he was drinking.
Yeah. As he's put the alcohol bottle back, you extend your arm with the needle on it directly towards him, just to get it in the arm. Unfortunately, having a bottle in front of your face does not actually make you blind. And he sort of steps back for a second. You guys need to... you guys really need to reprogram your... what are you doing? Looks around as you've just startled him quite significantly.
Awesome. Can I use that startle to try and hit him again?
Yeah, this one's gonna be a attack roll.
We are back on the ship. They're all gonna die. I'm sure of it.
Only one
Now
of
Praz
us.
will make it out.
Praz and Sam will be fine.
How did we do that as combat for me again? I forget.
Praz has armor and I have the force. It's the kid you gotta worry about.
It was the melee,
I have
right?
lots of
It's
guns.
a weapon, yes, it should be a...
So is it?
It's a melee check, yeah.
You don't have lots of guns. You've got lot of gun.
Just that? No.
I have 2
The
significant
difficulty
guns.
is the standard of...
Oh, yeah, I didn't change the difficulty back
I
down.
think for engaged, it's a standard of 1.
Yeah, it's 1. I was
One
looking
difficulty?
at 1
Yeah,
difficulty
there's-
plus modifiers.
I don't
So
have any modifiers that I'm aware of.
If he has a defensive
Not at the
weapon, he'll add a
moment.
die.
So it's just the difficulty is down to 1. Let me make sure I actually clicked away from that. Okay. And then just the little dice in the weapons thing, right?
Yeah, the dice you
Are you kidding me? With less
Powder,
difficulty, I
you go again with this needle. Present,
failure
then
is an
you
advantage.
probably both notice what's going on with each other at this point. As Powder is going after your mascot question mark with a needle.
While I'm over here, Praz, can you go deal with that, please?
Sen, you
Yeah.
it takes some doing, and it's kind of feeling around, just trying to avoid. This is a humanoid shape, not wanting to touch anything particularly sensitive.
He does not care at all about that right
Okay.
now.
You do manage to find what feels like fabric and sort of pull it away to reveal underneath what looks like a tired, somewhat middle-aged human dressed in similar outfit to what you've seen most of the people in the research facility have. Does seem to be stunned at the moment.
Just sort of like crouching down over him with like the blaster up like this. Well, hello, Dr. Whatever your last name was, I've forgotten it already.
Ross.
I should note that stunned means unconscious, so your villain speech
no, that's fine. No,
okay.
that's and he says that because he's like, this Doctor, whatever your name is.
Ross.
Looks like I win this hide and seek, and I put the blaster away.
You're terrible people.
Okay.
I'm Darkseid today, and pick him up onto my shoulder.
Right.
Yeah, I'm back at the speeder,
And I
kind
take
of like, what the fuck is, what are you doing? Why are you trying to
don't know.
jab him?
I just needle. I don't. Does that happen a lot?
Powder, yeah, they did it as soon as we met, which was really weird. But
That's,
do you look? Are you hurt or anything? Because that's when they normally do it.
I don't know.
Powder, why are you trying to
They
jab
gave
this
me
dude with a
some
needle?
alcohol. Here, I didn't mean to upset the droid. Sorry.
Does
Keep
Praz
alcohol
understand
in mind.
binary?
I mean, yeah,
Yes.
rerun was
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure. Then in binary, Powder will say, he is drugged, trying to help.
Are you on any drugs
I
besides
uh,
alcohol? Don't lie to me.
Oh my god,
Hey.
this poor guy.
make me
I'm a cop. You know what happens if you lie to a cop?
Difficulty 1.
Are you a cop? You have to say if you're a cop.
Yes, I'm a cop. Now don't lie to me. It's just
2 successes, 2 advantages.
I not a big deal. It's just study stuff. But yeah, a little bit. Not right now. Look, I'm sorry I took the alcohol.
No, I
I
don't
just
care either
realized
way.
it
I
was
don't
a
care you
bad
did
thing.
drugs either, but that's why they're doing it. I just wanted to know for sure.
What?
You're fine. You can calm down.
Okay. Oh.
one of these days, I'm just gonna walk. I'm just gonna walk into a room and shoot Powder because Powder's trying to stab someone with a needle. We'll fix it. We'll fix it later.
Hey, that might help. Who
You see-
knows?
You
Okay,
can
so-
nearly see the. I wish I was back on the ship with the pretty girl.
Yeah.
Sort of creepy. He's not a great
So
person.
Powder, he's fine unless you can tell that he's going into some kind of cardiac arrest or anything like that. Don't jab him with a needle. Or if he says I don't feel good, don't jab him with a needle. Unless he says I don't feel good. Not if he says I don't feel good, don't do it. No. But yeah. Unless he asks for a needle, don't give him one.
Understood.
Okay.
And the arm will come back down, and then the other hand will come out to take the alcohol bottle.
So he had handed it to Praz previously.
Yeah, I'll give it to
All
Powder.
right, and put it back in the stomach little compartment.
And by this point, I walk up carrying. Also, I took that invisible cloth and shoved
Yep.
it into like a pocket of my coat, like folded it
Yeah.
up as best I could, put it in a pocket.
You're miming. There's nothing really there.
Because that might be
I-
useful in the future.
Yeah. It's not necessarily invisible cloth, but investigating it's not something that's easy to do in a cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suddenly heard myself echoing back, and it was weird. Anyway,
That's weird.
so what's going on back here?
Nothing. Powder realized our friend here was on drugs. He's fine though.
All right. Well,
So
do
I
we
like
wanna-
I'm blasting all this dude's personal stuff. Yeah, he's on drugs.
Okay, cool. Do we want to investigate further into this cave, or do we want to come back later with Lux?
Let's come back later with Lux. Or we can just stick this dude and then drive down farther. Yeah, let's drive down farther, see what this guy was doing.
I mean, it might be better to come back with Lux in the ship. That way we have less time to travel back later.
True.
Now that I'm familiar with where we're at.
Yeah. All right.
We'll do that.
Yeah, let's drive back.
Dump him in the back seat.
Powder will
the-
look and say,
Oh,
and look down at the body, look at Sen and say, hurt?
no, he's just sleepy. And I'll look over at the intern. This is
Powder,
Dorian.
you can make me a medicine check.
Okay.
I'm switching with the mascot. The mascot will sit up front. I will sit in back. That way, if this dude wakes up, I can just like knock him out again.
Difficulty of
Powder, difficulty of 1.
I look over at the intern, and this is Dorian.
Yeah.
2 successes.
Okay. With 2 successes, yes, this person is significantly injured. Not only are they unconscious, but it seems like this would have essentially bled over from just knocking them unconscious into making them physically hurt.
You
Powder
fucked
is going
him
to-
up.
Nope.
Powder is going to kneel down, look
in the
back up.
seat.
Yeah. Well, like crouch down, whatever.
Next
Get,
to the
get as tiny as
psycho?
possible next to this guy. Look back at Sen and say, he is injured. And then try to,
Don't
like,
don't do anything until we get back to the ship. I don't want him waking up and
I
trying to run away.
I have binders. So I'll just clip those on.
say
can I
that-
just make
Powder,
sure he's
what do
not
you
going
do?
to die?
You're not sure with that check. Might depend
Then
on how
who's-
rough the ride is.
I was going to say, who's driving?
I am.
Okay.
Okay, so
Then-
after Powder
then
says that, no, he is hurt. Can I check to see how hurt he might be? He might actually
Sure,
be.
make me a medicine check. Difficulty of 1.
He died 10 minutes ago.
He's already dead.
2 advantages.
He's been dead this whole
He's probably hurt.
Yeah.
Trusting the medical expert's opinion seems like a smart idea.
Yeah, he might actually be pretty fucked up.
Like, make sure he's not going to die, but don't wake him up, is what I'm saying. If you want to put binders on him, go ahead and do so. And
I'll put binders on him and then.
Understood. Can I?
spin this thing around because it's got a 0 degree turn radius.
Yes. And Powder will look back at Sen and say, drive quickly.
Okay.
Can
Make
I?
me.
Yep.
This is not how successful you are, but how smooth the ride is. Make me a difficulty. Is that? Yeah, this is going to be a difficulty 4 piloting check.
I'm going to use another light side point.
How smooth that ride's going to be.
And do I have to make a check to see if I can make sure that he's not going to like die on the
What
ride?
medical stuff are you using? You have a few different options.
That I do.
All right.
We can. I assume we should probably wait
Wow.
go places until.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So that I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take the strain to make that a flat roll with an advantage.
So yeah, before I tell you what happens there, I need to know what Powder's doing. So.
Well, I have a med pack. I have an emergency med pack. I have
So figure out what you'd like to do.
Stim
The rules basically operate as you said in the book. He's taken all of his strain and most of his health, if that gives you any context.
Okay.
Lux, we're going to transition back to you for a second and what you're doing during this, just to give some time for medic
Right.
stuff.
So, a couple things. First, I am going to do a quick look over the ship since there is a possibility that somebody might have come on it. Somebody might have fucked with the ship somehow. Do a look inside and out.
Sure. First thing you find is Rerun, who actually was just in his room and assures you no one has come on the ship.
Okay. Well, that answered I am going to do a quick look outside the ship, though.
Sure.
Lux is feeling a little bit paranoid at the moment. So,
That's,
vigilance,
yeah, it
sadly.
probably going to be vigilance. Check the outside of the ship.
Difficulty.
Oh, wait, no, perception. Sorry.
That's better.
Definitely perception, and I'm going to use a dark side point.
Okay.
Difficulty of 2, but upgrade that once.
Yep. Failure and 2 advantages. Nope, looks fine to me. Doopy doopy doo.
Like to check around.
Okay.
No clear or obvious bugs.
Okay.
Or other. No one spray painted the word traitor on the outside since you've been gone.
Right. Luck is more concerned about explosives being attached to the outside of the ship that can be detonated.
You
once
don't
they
find
pick up.
any small explosive devices either.
Okay.
And we don't know where Rerun is, so.
No, I know where Rerun is. Literally just said.
This is yes. Lux just checked in and found that Rerun was in his room. He assured her that no one had come on and that he'd been on the ship the entire time.
Yeah.
Of course it's Rerun and not an explosive droid disguised to look like Rerun.
That would be amazing.
I'm sorry, but an explosive droid and Rerun, there's no disguise to look like there.
True, he already
It would
is an
be
explosive
Rerun
droid.
already
made-
is an explosive droid.
All of Rerun's careful tinkering was to make a droid that looked exactly like him so he could leave it there and kill us all.
Looked exactly like him, just made of C4 instead of actual parts.
Jack, I have this great idea for how your character could leave the game.
We call Jack right now.
And so then once that's done, Lux is going to stay in the control room because that's where the scanning stuff and the communication stuff is. And essentially just try set up. It seems this is going to take him a while. So she is going to set up sort of a security, like if anybody.
It takes him a while when you make him turn it in circles a few times.
Does. Make them set up something so if anybody at this facility tries to, I mean, I probably already have some of this anyways, tries to get into our security systems, get into our computer systems, take information, it's going to beep out an alert at me. And then I'm pretty much just going to try and center myself a bit because I've been having some very stressful periods.
Okay. You so you already do have a security system you set up previously, so you can essentially reinforce it against this specific facility, I'll say.
Right. Yes.
All right. That would be a computer's check difficulty 4, as this is a system you've already put a lot of effort into. It's unlikely you'll be able to break anything, but
right.
Making it better given
have
your
a light
previous
side,
successes
or have a
is
dark
hard.
side point.
Okay.
And let's see. Yeah, she's feeling super paranoid, so batten down the hatches. And 2 failures, so, well, that was a good effort. Whatever.
Yeah. You're unlikely to have broken anything, but with 2 failures, it does not seem like you managed to further your security.
Yeah, so just sort of try to keep an eye out for that in case, people board the ship while I'm here, or try and fuck with our, get into our computer systems, etc. And then I'm just right where she's sitting is just going to take the rest of the time and try and...
Okay. All right.
So what am I rolling?
So you're going to be
stab him with a stim
making,
pack?
just to make this simpler, given the sort of rough nature of the damage taken, and that it was initially a stun. It's going to be a difficulty 3 medicine check.
Okay.
I fucked him up.
It's
Yeah,
lucky you shot him, because if I had shot him, I might have legitimately killed him.
3 successes.
Okay. Yeah, so with 3 successes, you do manage to use your med pack.
I was going with the stim pack because that.
Stim pack, yeah. That
that
would make
gets-
more sense.
Yeah, because the stim pack gives him, according to the wording of the stim pack, it automatically heals 5 wounds. But whenever I do a medicine check to heal, I use my ranks in surgeon. So technically, since I have 4 ranks in surgeon, that would heal him to 9 wounds.
Okay.
So
All right. Does it heal any strain or no?
it does not. Which is why
Okay.
I went with stim pack, because that should keep him unconscious.
Yeah, he does remain unconscious, but you managed to heal the internal trauma he took from that rather hefty shot he took.
It's stun setting, but it's still a heavy blaster pistol.
Yeah.
A heavily modified heavy blaster pistol.
Stun setting on the disruptor rifle.
Stun setting aimed at the
I know.
squishy scientist.
Oh, don't sneak around a dude with a gun. Because he doesn't know that you're a squishy
Just
scientist.
let him shoot you in the middle of the street.
If he wasn't trying to sneak, I wouldn't have shot him. Also, was a cave.
I mean,
not a
we
street.
could have called out and said, "Hey, we see you," but
I
Hey,
can't quite do
you.
the eyebrow thing, but no, I'm doing the eyebrow thing. Yeah. So he seems unconscious, and then you managed to keep the ride as smooth as you can.
But it's rough terrain.
But Powder, you're pretty sure if you hadn't stabilized this guy, he clunking around in the back would have been enough to take him beyond.
Yay! I saved his life.
Yes, you did. He is back to being a healthy, if entirely worn out of mental energy and.
hello, clan. I found the guy. He was dead when I found him.
Okay, so once you get out of the cave
Not
system,
dead, I
which
fixed him.
doesn't take too long, Lux, you resume radio contact with them.
Yeah.
Bad news. Everyone but me died.
Don't lie to people. It's not nice. Hey,
I was just waiting. It was a joke.
okay.
He knows. I know that if that was really the case, he would have been very different in tone.
If we had all died,
Don't
he
worry.
would not have answered.
I said everyone but me, Powder. Anyways, we found the good doctor.
Perfect.
My statement
Everything's fine
stands.
back here. See you when you get back.
Yep. In a bit, we are gonna probably swing by this location with the ship once we get him on board, just because there's some fancy stuff I want to look into and that you might also want to look into.
You maybe. I mean, I know it kind of defeats the purpose now, but I was gonna say maybe we shouldn't say that we found him yet, because if the people at the compound are still looking for him,
I mean, if they're tapped into our direct comlink frequencies, then they already know we went looking for him and would have been following us.
yeah, which is why you could cover him with that thing. Like I said, defeats the purpose now. We've already
Yeah.
exited and left with him. But yeah,
Heading back to the ship.
Yeah, all of you continue onwards. Eventually arriving back at the ship where you all disembark with an unconscious hostage and a not quite hostage, maybe hostage.
Pull up into the cargo bay. Smack the door. Smack the button that'll close the door.
Mm-hmm.
We're back, Lux. Come get your present.
All right, I'm coming.
Important
Buffalo
question,
chip
do
we
you
found
leave
out there.
intern outside or do you bring him in?
Ah, he's in the landspeeder with us.
Okay.
Why not abduct two people today?
go big or go home. This guy's
Right?
not going home.
That was amazing.
hang on. Advice ad.
Go big or go home. That guy's not going home. So yeah, I make my way from the cockpit.
Well, you return. Mascot's a little more frazzled than you left him.
As soon as Lux comes up, I'll take the alcohol back out and hand it to Lux.
Thank you, Powder. You're the best. All right, so
I toss you an invisible cloak.
It's not
Wait,
quite
more like
invisible
fake it.
when it is
Fake it,
tossed.
just-
I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
It's like, phew, wait, what?
thump.
There's a weird piece of what is some sort of fabric. It's got it's got some sort of lining that makes a hexagonal pattern through it, and what are probably channels within that pattern, bizarre shape.
I point at one of the.
It's a light material.
I point at one of our
Roughly
cargo crates.
cloak-shaped, yes.
I point at one of our cargo crates. Throw it over that. See what happens.
Throw
It's
it.
still the same as.
Does it
just-
not?
We've now covered the crates.
Does
Good
it not do
job.
the thing? Does it not do the thing it was doing when he was wearing it?
Nope.
Oh,
I'm assuming it needs to be activated somehow.
maybe.
I will look at it.
Do we have a
Well,
med
it's
bay?
fashionable.
Not really.
He
The
was-
engine room sort of doubles as the med bay at the moment.
He was using it as a blending in with the environment cloak.
Well, we'll have to wake him up and see what happened, or see how it works.
If you, I could take a look at the. Sorry.
That's okay. No, that's amazing. You're amazing. Here, look at this.
I'll pick up the good doctor
NPCs
and
get the specialty thing that I made up for NPCs specifically.
take him to the lounge,
I will follow.
lay him on the couch.
Whisper in his ear.
Oh wait, fuck, that's not that.
Whisper sweet nothings.
No, whisper terrible nothings. When you wake up, you're going to be in so much pain.
Your
don't know,
parents
I healed
called
that.
your adopted.
This is why nobody likes us, Sen.
Parents called you adopted? Damn, Cody.
Your diploma was rejected as a fake.
Alright, so since Taco heads into the other room to torment a.
That's not what he's
Captive.
actually.
Powder
Scientist.
follows.
He's not
There is no
actually doing
tormenting
that. I
happening.
need to clarify.
I know, it's just. Occasionally I have to call you guys on it because otherwise you'll get very far away from me very quickly.
Like fleeing the cops and running into an alleyway as a ferret.
It was a weasel?
Was a perfectly logical response to trying to escape being in a cage.
They're
I
not
didn't
wrong.
No,
say
you're
that
wrong.
out of character at all. I didn't joke about it or be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this." Haha, I'm not really doing that. I just said that's what
They
I'm
have a
doing.
point, John.
I know. I'm teasing.
For
So,
those
yeah,
who don't have context, we also have a Thursday game.
You should go watch it.
You
Yeah.
should.
It's awesome.
Not right now. We're not done yet. So he'll turn it over. It's not actually invisibility. It's more of psychic's the wrong word, but it's probably some sort of sensory thing. For most species, it'll emit a essentially thing similar to how holograms, pop up and just look how they do.
Mhm.
But like you can kind of tell a hologram's not there depending on how you
Right.
look at it. It's similar to that, except for it's like designed to mimic the environment around it. I don't know why this would be emitting the compound, though. This isn't the sort of thing that I've been in the projects on. It might be something we work on here. See, these lines are they kind of look like they're some sort of mineral, but they're actually just like tiny little speakers. So there's a sonic frequency that comes out and a visual frequency that comes out. And if you activate it, he sort of presses a few buttons that are inlaid in a really hard to reach part of it, part of the back hood of the cloak. His hand is under it, and you can kind of see the floor through my hand, but not really, as you can see the sort of camouflage-esque effect
Yeah.
takes over. In good lighting, it's pretty easy to tell that it's artificial. It is what it is. I mean, I imagine it doesn't have a terribly long battery life.
That is
That's what I got.
fascinating. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's really useful information.
You-
Um, hmm.
And on that,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to close for the night.
All right, well then. We have been Final Show Films. We produce a wide variety of content every week. You can check us out at finalshowfilms.com. You also check us out on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms. If you'd like to support us financially, you can do so there. If you'd like to support us elsewhere, you can do so here on our Twitch channel. We are Twitch affiliates, so you can feel free to subscribe to us here. Also, make sure to let folks know that they should follow us. Whoever is typing is doing so very loudly. Please stop. It's very distracting to me while I'm trying to talk. I will
Damn it,
murder
Jeremy.
you all in your sleep.
We all know who it is.
Up on 411 tonight. A whole bunch of random letters that Jeremy typed to annoy John.
My computer is so confused right now. Like my Action Center popped up, the Microsoft Store randomly popped up. It opened a new tab in Notebook++. It just has no idea what's going on.
Was it worth it, Jeremy? Was
Yes.
it worth it?
We are
Okay.
100%.
we are Twitch affiliates here at twitch.tv/Nizaka. You can follow us here. When we get to 500 followers, we'll be able to become Twitch partners, which means that we'll get a bigger chunk of change out of our subscribers and bits that you guys throw our way. So feel free to let folks know that they should come watch our stuff because we're really cool and you really like it. Hopefully, if that's true. If you don't like us, don't say anything. Just like your mother said, if you can't say something nice, don't say something at all. My mother told me to shut the fuck up and sit in a corner, so I never got the nice things, so, whatever. Anyways, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. And also, we'd like to thank the folks over at full1mania.com. Jeremy, tell the folks out there about 411mania.com and about the brand new article you just finished writing called Absolutely.
So
I cannot wait to hear
411mania.com
about it.
is a pop culture site that covers basically everything in pop culture that geeks could be interested in. Whether it's movies, TV, music. If you want to know how the box office results end up this weekend, that'll be Sunday on this site. If you're interested in music, we've got latest column was the best albums that released this May, and all sorts of news about that. That field of God damn it. Anyways, video games, wrestling, MMA, anything relating to Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor later this month. We've got it covered, including we will almost certainly have live coverage when that happens. And of course, all the Final Show Film stuff. It's 411mania.com. Check us out.
Yep, I appreciate them, and we also appreciate all of our patron supporters because I don't remember if I actually thanked them the $25 tier supporters, but I'm doing it again if I did. Thank you to our $25 tier supporters: Chris Comfort, Antitonic, and Cat Waterflame.
I did not hear my name, therefore.
For all your support, we appreciate all of you. So thank you very much, and we will see you all next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Later.
Bye.
Goodbye.